All right. So here we go. And we are here today with the lovely Andrea Walsh. And as you know, hello, Andrea.
Hello.
This is where we have our 15 minutes of fame and we talk to everyday entrepreneurs doing extraordinary things. And this is great. So we're going to hear from Andrea today and hear all the great things. So Andrea, please reintroduce yourself and let everybody know where you are and what you're up to.
Sure. Thanks so much, Ralph Ann. Thanks for having me. And I'm excited to meet everyone and also be able to tell you a little bit about my story. I love how you said everyday entrepreneurs doing extraordinary things. And oftentimes, I think of the former, like the everyday entrepreneur, as opposed to
Mhm.
extraordinary things, but we really do have all that inside of us. So, the ordinary part is that I'm a mom of 3 boys. I'm married outside of Philadelphia in the suburbs. I was a former teacher. And when I decided to stay home with my second son, I don't know if it relates to you. I think a lot of women feel that tension too of like, I should
Mhm.
do something big and I should have this big career. I had my master's that I had paid for. And then I was like, but I have these little people at home. And part of me is
Yep.
drawing me there. And so I stayed home with them for a couple years. I was doing a lot of nonprofit work. In fact, I was almost working full time, not getting paid a dime, but in the nonprofit sector before I opened up my own business, teaching people about non toxic solutions for their personal care and health and ditching some of the toxins in their everyday routine. And that's how my entrepreneur journey started. And it's just continued to evolve and grow. And I've been leading teams across the country, both within that space and also in the networking space of just women entrepreneurs coming together to be able to give our gifts to other people as well. So that's where
Wow,
we are
that's
today.
I love it. And so, for those of you who may not know, Andrea and I met at the Divine Direction. I call it retreat, but because I'm a hippie, so
Yeah.
everything is a retreat to me. Conference last year, and with Danelle Delgado and Gina DeVee, and the guests that we're seeing these next few series will be women that I met at that Divine Direction. And just one of the things that just intrigued me about Andrea, well, a few things. But the fact that you said, you were right off, I'm like, okay, she's a teacher, she's a mom, she's got her master's, and that connection that you have with your community, which is something that obviously I can definitely resonate with. And I just love, that you continue to want to have that connection with people in your community. And I love that. So a bit of and you told us a bit of your why. So tell me a bit about like your whole why of like, why is it so important for you to connect with community and having these women like around is it the country or the globe or where are you now?
Yeah. Where does it end? Bring all the people in. Um, well, I think I've always been a people person. Even when I was in high school, I was part of our student government. I was a captain of our softball team. Like, I've always loved people. I've always loved teaching. I've always loved helping bring out the best in people as well.
Mhm.
Generally speaking, I've been a pretty positive person, even being kicked down here and there. But I've seen that over time, there's a lot of people who don't work in the world like me and that maybe
Mhm.
don't
Mhm.
have that outright personality or that struggle to make connection. And I've been able to facilitate that among people. And that's where I think my why has changed. I think as
Mhm.
sometimes a beginning entrepreneur, it's very me centered and what can I do? And it's that idea of all eyes on me. People are looking at me. What moves do I have to make? Whereas there's a shift that happens somewhere in an entrepreneurial journey that it goes from being about me to being about the people that we serve. And
Right.
I think probably in maybe post COVID, well, during COVID even, I think in the
Yeah.
last 2 or so years that's where that shift started to happen for me. I was leading my own team within my first business. And then I was starting to bring my local community together. And that was all women entrepreneurs. And we brought live events then online. And I saw the need for us to really hold on to each other during a tumultuous time. And now it's okay, how do we take all of this and the gifts that I've been given to serve the world in a bigger place? So
Okay.
that's where I am
Um,
today.
I love that. So tell us a little bit more about any particular like products or services that you do offer. I know you mentioned team building. We talked about a little bit in New York last year. So in regards to products or services, is there something, or multiple things that, that your organization, I guess
Yeah.
we'll say, yeah, offers?
Sure. I started off my entrepreneurial journey within the network marketing space. I sell non toxic personal care products for the whole family. So everything from skincare to hair care. And that's where I got my feet wet. That's like
Mhm.
many, especially new entrepreneurs, it's a great space. It's a low investment, but can be a high return also. It's a place where you learn
Mhm.
personal development and professional development, and you learn the skills that are necessary to build a business. And that's
Right.
exactly what it offered me. And then from there, I realized that one of the things that I love, yes, I love our mission and I love sharing that and teaching that. But my team and the people that have come along on the journey with me, I've really enjoyed helping them build their businesses. So again, it went from a me center to a how
Mhm.
can I serve the team? How can I help you build your business as well? And that's where some of the excitement starts to come in as you meet people from across the country and you realize that everyone has some similar ties to each other of wanting more from their life, serving a bigger purpose than themselves. Many times people will join a business or start a business just simply either to make some money or because they like a product themselves, especially within network marketing, I would say.
Right.
But it's also when you start to grow, you're like, whoa, this is a way bigger phenomenon
Mhm.
than just making a couple bucks or using a product. It becomes a bigger mission than that.
I agreed, and I don't know if you remember if we talked about it. I had a little prosecco that night at the soiree.
We all did, really.
Couple glasses of
Dressed in
prosecco.
our whites and
Yeah, that was so much fun. So I started in network marketing
Mhm.
um in a beauty company when I was 18 years old. And I just remember some of my fondest memories were from the events, like the
Yeah.
networking events. And I really feel like that was a big drive for me
You
because
learn Sorry, go ahead.
I'm thinking you're a young entrepreneur. I didn't even know what an entrepreneur was at
Nope.
18. I just knew I always wanted to go into business for myself at a very young age. And there was just something about those women showing up, the best versions of themselves, which is what I always, which is my mantra. And seeing that and being a part of that, I think made me realize very young that there was more. That I'm like, this is more than selling lipstick, and showing people what colors they look good in. This is like a whole this is like a whole vibe. Like it was a vibe and that energy. 18, I mean, that's been over 30 years ago for me. And my first event, I will never forget the certification that weekend. I will never forget it. It's such a lasting impression. And that, I don't know, that's that energy that, anything's possible. And, it just makes you feel empowered. I mean, it's very cliche to say, but I mean, would you
Mhm.
agree that there's just a lot of empowerment that goes into the network of it? To me, it's phenomenal.
Yeah, and I would say it's one of those things that it doesn't come without work, but
Mhm.
when you are within the inside of the industry, it's kind of like that hashtag, if you know, you know, but
Right.
it's true. I think one of the biggest challenges that I have right now and that I've shared with my team leaders, we actually just had a big call about it the other day, is it's what was your best thing about the last year within your business. And our company convention was in Nashville, Tennessee. And it had been a year and a half since we had been together live and in person. It was actually a week after Divine Direction. I went right from New York to Nashville.
Right.
And the energy there and the hugs and the tears, and it was almost cathartic
Mm,
to be together and just have so much fun. And obviously we were in a very different place and time in our country, but I think one of the things that I recognized is it's the people. It's really the people,
mm,
my customers, who have given me stories of, acne being reduced, or eczema that's been soothed because of a certain cream, or this and that. That's what matters. It's the
right.
stories and the connections and the people that you meet along your journey of being an entrepreneur. And I think that one of the things that is great about the industry too is that it is something that you can enter into with very little to no skill. In fact, I prefer when somebody has zero skills. When somebody comes in,
Mhm.
especially from the corporate world, and they're like,
Right.
I've been in sales my whole life. I'm like, oh boy, we unteach everything. But it's something that
Agreed.
you learn along the way, and then you take tidbits and you get better at something, and then you learn another skill, and then you're able to teach it to someone else. And all of a sudden it's like this snowball effect, and you're going, whoa, how did I get here? And I've got all these amazing humans around me, and this is a business. This is
Wow.
fun.
So much fun to be a bit. Yeah, I had someone tell me recently, one of my colleagues, or I don't know. But anyway, she said, I'm just amazed at, how much like people who haven't been around you in a year or two or more. I don't know if, you've had this as well, I'm sure. If people haven't been around you, everything that we soaked in and soaked up these past couple years, when my studio had to close for those 6 months,
Mhm.
um, I got smart really fast at just not disconnecting, but trying to connect even more and just get really educated and just really absorbing, all these people and podcasts and books and all the things that it's just amazing, like surrounding yourself with positive people, how much of an influence. And when I speak now, I always think I'm like this collaboration of all the books and people that I've met over the past couple years without even realize some things that that you don't even realize But I just think that in itself, to try to I always try to think, positive post COVID, what came out of it. And just, mirroring back, I mean, wow, just that conference alone, I really cannot. And I went to California about a month after that for something a little similar but different. And I'm still just amazed, like, wow, were we really there in the midst of all those amazing women? And like I said, I just couldn't take it. I wanted to take it all in. I mean, I could have had a week and just sit there with like you for like a couple hours, like, tell me more, tell me more, tell me more what you do. And it just wasn't enough time. But, I think that's just part of it. And that's why I want to continue to doing things like this so that we can, this will not be the last time. We'll definitely bring you back. And because I want to keep, everybody updated, because this is a journey for all of us. And the fun thing about journeys is that there's so many cool things to see along the way, I think is what makes it fun. And I know it's very cliche, enjoy the journey. So what would you say you love these days? And I know you have a few things also in the works, but so like these days with your business, like what do you think you love most? Like where are you right now and what excites you the most going forward, I think?
Well, I would say that recently what I felt is that need for connection with people.
Hmm.
That although, social media can sometimes get a bad rap, but that's a way that we are connected. It's a way we've been able to
Hmm.
stay connected, whether it's through Zoom or StreamYard or Facebook groups or lives or anything else. But it's a way that people can come together, and it's made our world, our country much, much smaller. And so as I've seen my various businesses evolve, I've seen that that's where my heart is too. Is just really connecting people. I've started a new group. It's called Empower One. And within that community, the idea is a ripple effect that when one person is empowered, they're able to teach someone else. And within there, we collaborate,
Right.
we grow and learn together. We have some fun together at both live events and virtual
Yes.
events. And ultimately, we're able to serve. We serve people with our skills. We're able to serve our communities. Um, and and that's where part of my growth in the next year is going as well. So, just looking to help entrepreneurs, looking to help people that may feel a little disconnected as well to
Hmm.
find a home that they can meet people like yourselves or other entrepreneurs. And you never know where a connection will go. Like, we met that first night and we were talking about our white dresses, and we were like, this is some of the first time I've ever had a white dress on, and we were drinking our prosecco. And here we are 6 months later collaborating.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
I think that that's the beauty of putting powerful people in a room, whether it's a literal room or whether it's an online or a virtual room, is you never know the impact that that's going to have to someone else's life down the road as well. So that's
Hmm.
where I feel like I'm being led right now. I'm really kind of diving into the spirit in that of going, okay, where's this next chapter? Where are we going? Where How do you want me to serve other people? And so
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm excited about it.
I'm excited. So I am definitely gonna stay, keep me updated on Empower One, and we will have all your contact information, links and everything so that, people can reach out to you and, on their entrepreneurial journey and wanting to connect. And I love the idea of this connection and collaboration. So Andrea, again, I thank you so much, my friend. How exciting. Got to see you again. You're looking good.
Thank you. Likewise, that's what I said. I'm like, "Ooh, look at us."
Yeah, looking good. I love it. That is one of my favorite things. I'm one of the biggest girl watchers probably in the world because it excites me to see when women just are uplifted and, kind of it's just a feel good thing for me. But thank you again. And, y'all tune in for the next time. And again, here's to you becoming the best version of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.